Hello everybody, today's September 20th, 2013. I want to talk about Lindsey Williams today. I just did a video on Lindsey's latest DVD, and like always, I'm getting a lot of views. I have 1,500 views in about a day and a half, and more thumbs down than any video I can remember in the past year and a half. I was expecting that, and lots of negative comments. One guy said I was putting my credibility on the line. I said, no, I wasn't. These aren't my claims or predictions. These are Lindsey's. I'm just wrapping this up for people who don't want to watch an hour and a half long DVD. I'm summarizing it for them. I believe, my humble opinion is on Lindsey Williams that he is worthy of listening to because he has gotten enough things correct. I don't believe everything he says. I don't look at him like the Applegate guy who put everyone in black Nikes and said we're going to jump on Hail Bop and take a bunch of strychnine or whatever they did and kill themselves so they can jump on the comet. I mean, it's not some... I don't look at him as some type of leader. But these people that are coming down so hard on him, saying that he's a snake oil salesman and, you know, he's a lunatic and he's this and that. I honestly don't think that those people have listened to more than a half an hour of Lindsey Williams. And don't get me wrong, I understand that Mr. Williams can be kind of hard to listen to sometimes. Okay? A lot of the times. He says, get your pen and pencil. He says, make sure you're sitting down. He says, did you catch that? You know, just all the things that people make fun of. He says, by the providence of God. He says, did you catch those buzzwords? All that stuff. Okay, that's how the man communicates. Okay, that's just what he does. But he's had enough things come true, and I've been listening to him for a couple years. And people like to hear what he says, and people like listening to him. Some of my older Lindsey Williams videos have like 15,000 views by now, ones I did last year. Most of my videos get 4,000, so, you know, after they've been up for a year. I got lots of views on those videos, so I just wanted to talk about Lindsey a little bit and give my opinions. I'm sure whether I want them or not, I'm going to get your opinions down below, but come on, I can't be the only one here that sees some value in what Lindsey's talking about. He's talking about stuff that makes sense to me. Now, the main thing, in my opinion here, is the dates and time frames. You can't, no man knows the hour. You can't put time frames on these things. So, he's been wrong on a lot of dates and time frames. And so I think that's where people say, well, you know, this guy said this by this. You know, the silver will be $75 by whatever date, the end of 2012 or whatever. Well, it's going to be $75, but he was wrong on the time frame. He says gold's going to be $3,000. Gold will be $3,000, but he was wrong on the time frame. The dollar's going to be dead by the end of 2012. Well, you can still buy crap with it, but in a way it did die. I mean, he's saying that, okay, the dollar's dead but hasn't been buried yet. It's kind of true, you know. The dollar is dead. How many 30-plus trade agreements now? China's been making agreements with everybody to trade without using the U.S. dollar. China, the second and third largest economies in the world, China and Japan, have made agreements to trade amongst themselves without the dollar. Australia's made a huge agreement with China. Russia's made the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have been making agreements. They've agreed amongst themselves to set up some type of system. I mean, the writing is on the wall for the US dollar to lose reserve status. So to me, it's just prudent to save in real money, in gold and silver. You know, I believe that they're gonna make people beg, like Mr. Williams was saying in a video I was watching. They're gonna make people beg for a one world currency. The elite that run the world. They're gonna make them beg for it like they did back in 1907 when they had the banking panic. they had people begging to fix the banking system, and J.P. Morgan stepped up and said, "Yeah, sure, I'll here. Let me fix this here, and then we'll get going on that." And then they got the Federal Reserve just swept right underneath the people's nose. They just pushed it in on Christmas Eve or whatever it was. They're gonna have people begging again to have the things fixed after the dollar hyperinflates, whatever. But this stuff doesn't happen overnight. It's taken, things are going kind of slow. I mean, they have little moments where they just burst, but this could be a slow process. It probably is going to be a slow process. I don't know. The timing is the hardest thing, and that's where I think Mr. Williams needs to stay away from any type of time frames and timing. I mean, I think he's fixed a few of them by saying, well, that, you know, they changed their plans or whatever. I was watching one thing, an example of something that he said. I think it was on October 10th, 2010. He was on Alex Jones. He said that the elite now want a crisis in the Middle East. They're ready now, 4 to 5 months. There's going to be a crisis in the Middle East. And it was just under 5 months that we're shooting off hundreds of missiles into Libya. He was right on the timing on that. So, I don't know, I just think he's worthy of listening to. And that's really all I wanted to say. So yeah, here I am putting my credibility on the line now. I think he's worthy of listening to. And I don't think I'm the only one who realizes that. I hear him explain everything about what happened on June 19th, which happened to be the supermoon. And you know, the overnight lending rate between the banks went from what it normally is 3%, shot up to 7%, and then on the I guess 19th shot up to 7%, and then on the 20th shot up to 12%. That will bring down the quadrillion-dollar derivative market. The derivative market is what brought down 08. What's going to bring things down? They're claiming they can bring down all currencies around the world. When you got all the banks around the world in on these derivatives, they're like side bets, one-armed bandit type stuff. On interest rates, one guy says, hey, you know what? I bet you that the 10-year Treasury goes from 2.75%. I bet you it's over 2.8 by next Wednesday. The other guy says, oh, okay. Or, you know, in a couple days from now. So he says, oh, okay, I'll take that bet. I don't think it's going to go past that. So they each put down $1 million. And they borrow it at an overnight lending rate of 3%. So the guy who's right, if he only puts up 3% is all that he had to spend in order to do this. And then the other guy, well, he loses. But I mean, there's all this. It's legalized gambling. It's insane the amount of derivatives that are out there. I've talked about them before. I'm not an expert on them. I've studied them a little bit. You know, you got options are some of the most well-known derivatives. You got collateralized debt obligations, and you got credit default swaps. Most people never even heard of a derivative. So most people don't understand what's going on, and it kind of upsets me when they're talking like Mr. Williams is Baghdad Bob. I mean, Baghdad Bob, if you don't know who that is, the information minister for Iraq when we were invading Iraq in 03, he's standing on there on TV saying, oh, the Americans, they're not here in Baghdad. They're not, they're at the gates cutting their throats. They're it's just all these lies. He was the lie he just told fanciful lies. And the biggest one of all was like, oh no, they haven't come anywhere near Baghdad, as our freaking tanks are driving behind him on the camera. I mean, I don't put Lindsey in that shape or form in any way. I guess I'll just cut it short now. I think I got out what I mainly wanted to say. I'm going to leave you with one guy's opinion on Lindsey and how he's portraying him. And I just think it's awful. I mean, this shows how this guy can put down someone like Lindsey when he doesn't even understand what he's talking about. I left a comment saying that yeah, holding real money for thousands of years is a real bad idea, you know, with what we're headed towards. Because I think the clip I'm just going to give you a little audio clip of Lindsey talking about how you need to have some real money. And so, which reminds me real quick, you know, they took away gold in 1933. Stole the citizens' private property in this country, in the United States. They took away our silver in 1965. They took away our copper in 1981. So we don't have anything but paper nothings and electronic digits that aren't worth the paper they're not printed on, like Mr. Salente says. So we have nothing now, but most people don't even understand. They don't even know that. So when they bring this whole thing down, I believe that if it's on paper, it's worth the paper that it's on, which is nothing. You got to have real things. But anyhow, I got a little sidetracked there. I'm going to play this clip here real quick, and I went to leave a comment. First of all, I noticed there's no, on this 15,000 views on this video, and there's no thumb up, thumb down. So you can't rate it. And so I went to leave a comment saying, you didn't debunk shit with this video, because you don't even understand what's going on. And then it says comment pending, blah blah blah. So all you get on this video is a bunch of shit that agrees with the guy who made the video, and then you can't even rate it. So that tells me a lot right there. Especially, I'll do a video, this video right here, you'd be able to say whatever the hell you want below, and you can thumb it up, thumb it down, however you want, because I'm true to my word. I'm being honest. This is my honest opinion, and I don't have an agenda. I'm not trying to sell gold and silver. I'm not trying to sell anything. And I do make some money off the commercials you see at the beginning of this video, but believe me, if I stopped getting that money tomorrow, things wouldn't really change. It's not much money. I don't do this for that. I do this because I'm passionate about what I'm talking about, and my vision is getting clearer as I study more, and that's all I do in my free time besides family and go to work, is work on this stuff. I have no time for sports, no time for television. I don't fit in at work. People don't understand me, and I'm sorry, but whatever. That's just how it is. So I'm gonna end this now. I'll talk to y'all soon.
So Lindsey then goes on, and this is just crazy. I mean, Lindsey then goes on to tell people that they need to buy gold and silver. If you have gold and silver, you will be able to purchase this new currency, which is just, this goes beyond any logic. That there is no logic to this. First off, folks, the fact that you have purchased silver and gold will not help you. Okay, not at all. This is sad. This is like really sad, because, you know, rather than telling people to, you know, buy some food, get some medical supplies, he actually did go on to say medical supplies after he gave a sales pitch for this gold and silver person that operates on the Jones page. But let's take a listen to this, and you can hear what I'm talking about.
The only way that you can maintain the purchasing power of your present currency is to buy gold and silver today, immediately. You should have bought it 2 years ago. But if you didn't, you've got to go down and get it. I mean, right this minute, listen to who advertises on Alex programs and buy from them. Why? Because I have been told, and I'm telling it to you, you can take that gold and silver. It'll have the same purchasing power, the same value, but yet you can turn around and trade that for the new currency, whatever it may be, world or whatever it may be, and maintain your same purchasing power, and that is the only thing you can do it with.
So there you go. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is, I mean, I don't know. I could picture Lindsey Williams selling like used vacuum cleaners for the Maytag shop. This is just, it's like mental retardation, you know. And then he says, of course, he's been told